Welcome everyone to the Oklahoma Open, brought to you by Innova. We are in beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma on a blustery day, and I am joined by the man himself. Some of you know him by Jump Putt Jones, others KJ USA, Mr. Kevin Jones.
Hello, Luke. Glad to be here. I don't know exactly what blustery means, but today was not pleasant to say the least.
I heard it in a Winnie Pooh movie when I was a child. I do not know either, but seems windy, yes. This course here, we are at McClure Park. We got Kevin Jones, Bo Tillman, Avery Jenkins, and Gavin Ossenkop. Maybe the guy that you haven't heard of on the card, but great player coming up from Oklahoma. I think he's going to do big things. But there's going to be a lot of out of bounds on this small course. More technical shots than lengthy shots, I'd say.
Yeah, lots of shorter holes we've got here, some with OB surrounding, and the biggest hazard of today is going to be the wind that we are facing. On this particular hole, any other day, this would be an absolute gimme, but today we've got a strong right-to-left headwind that is going to make it really hard to actually stick the green.
Yeah. Right away, you hear it in the background. Bo, one of the smoother players out there, I'd say, just kind of flicks his wrist. If you're from the Oklahoma area, you already know. Great player. Next up on the tee, Kevin Jones, going
with a A2 here because it's so windy. I need to be able to trust it. I still do not trust it enough.
Okay, played it safe. You could see the wind just take the flight plate and start moving it left, though. It's going to come into play on almost every hole, so at some point we'll grow tired of talking about it, but until then it's just the most obvious factor in today's game.
Well out of bounds from Avery Jenkins there, taken by the wind mostly, and it is important to note that we are playing at 9 a.m. on this Saturday morning. Got really cold. I don't know. Temperature's got to be around 40 degrees right now.
Yeah. Gavin just barely skirting over the creek, and he's like the only guy on the premises in a t-shirt. I promise you, everybody else is wearing long sleeves. I was on the card in front of this, and I looked back and was like, no way. I mean, it's probably only 50, but it feels a lot colder.
Yeah, it was freezing. Actually, you came in handy because you had hand warmers that were crucial for this round.
Yeah. 30 over one of them right before we started. That's a tricky one to start on right there.
Oh, yeah. Straight headwind putt, downhill. I was a little bit timid as well as Gavin here. Bo carding a birdie, though. That's nice, going one down real quick.
Yeah, good start from him. Avery tapping in his bogey. And a couple pars. There it is. Wearing the short sleeves. Absolute madman. It did warm up a little bit throughout the day, but it started out really cold.
Sure did. Hole 2 is going to be almost the exact same thing as hole 1. It's literally the same distance, playing along this creek. We're going to throw a hyzer, same wind here that we're facing. OB left and in the creek. And long if you find yourself crossing that path as well. I imagine Bo's going to be throwing the same disc here.
Yeah, that looks good. Those are Star Crocs out of Bo Tillman. Overstable mid-range. You're going with the same disc as well. Okay. That was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, did pretty much exactly what I wanted to, but it looked a little bit scary. Just have to really trust it because there's a big wind out there, and your disc is going to skip if you swing it out there like that.
Yeah. There's dew on the ground. I watched somebody do it on my card to start off, too. Just the way that hill plays at this point in the day. Avery also going with the same disc. Throwing it a little wider this time. Getting that late fade.
Out.
Inbounds, an uphill putt. That's a positive take from it. Also a tailwind that he has here, kind of shielded from the bridge as well.
Nice.
Nice putt from Gavin.
Great, confident putt. Avery putting with P2s, a little high left on that one.
Can't judge anybody for missing putts right now. It's 10, 15 mile per hour winds, as well as cold hands and early morning problems that you may have.
Yeah.
It's nice to be close like that.
This is a 3-round event that we're playing. You know that this is going to be probably the harshest environment that we're subject to throughout it. So you just kind of got to get started, weather the storm a bit to start. And by storm, I mean these winds. This is really the first hole that you're unleashing one. Trying to get a little bit, kind of a tweener. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a tweener, absolutely, if they're calling it a par 3. But, I mean, for the highest level players, this is well within reaching distance. Nice low hyzer flip to getting a full flight. Cruising under these trees, hopefully to the basket would be nice. But a lot of people are just going to be playing for a 3, and it's going to be relatively simple to achieve that. We do have the headwind coming on the right side, but the trees are kind of blocking it a little bit, so it's not very intense here, but still it's whipping through there.
Yeah, that's safe over there. Nice, getting a good skip too.
Nice smooth shot from Bo, showcasing pretty much how he plays. Just really smooth and slow off the tee to a longer shot than what it appears.
Yeah.
There is OB left on this hole, which is right where I'm headed. Oh, and it looks like I've cut rolled, so that I couldn't see from the tee pad, but cut rolled a little bit. I needed to kick to the right though if I wanted to be safe there. That was really far to the left.
Be stable. Swing.
Gavin forcing something stable over. Interesting. Both of the Oklahoma guys kind of knew to take that right side route and let the disc work back. Just a little home course advantage going on, I feel like. This looks good. And Avery's got tons of power. Wow. Oh, yeah. The entry to that little green there, it's kind of low ceiling.
Oh, yeah, very low ceiling. He was on the right there a little bit, but easy up and down for par there. Here, I took a little bit of relief backwards in straight line of the basket so that I have a better angle at this shot here. And I am skipping inside the circle to like 25 feet.
Dang, skip long. I bet you thought that was perfect.
Yeah, I was really happy with it out of my hand and caught some ground action that I wasn't expecting.
Nice putter shot from Avery.
This is the time. Bo's got a right to left wind here, and he does not want to come back here, just as none of us do. We want to be under the basket right now, dropping in, so he's just going to lay that up.
Like, straight up, I don't want a 15-footer at this point.
No way. Like, this 25-footer is so scary. Left to right wind here.
Wow, confident, man.
Yeah,
Smashed it.
For bogey as well.
Yeah.
Just, like, not a time you really want to be putting for bogey.
No, huge hit, though. There we go. Gavin, you kind of see that flat putt that he's got. It's got a little wobble to it, but I don't mind that at all. It's really online and direct, which is perfect for the conditions that he's playing in, mostly here in Oklahoma. It's just how the Midwest players are, and they turn into great putters. Bunch of really good putters coming out of Oklahoma. Hole 4, similar to the last hole, takes a really good shot and probably a nice putt to get.
Yeah, this is another what we were kind of calling a tweener hole. But like I said, the top echelon of disc golf is able to reach this hole. It's really cool how it kind of dips down and then comes back up onto this hillside. OB long that would not really ever come into play. We've got a wind here. Do you remember what the wind was doing here, Luke?
I believe it was like a left or right down. It was kind of a bomber wind.
It was, for me, what I remember is right to left tailwind. But it was a tailwind for sure.
Yeah.
Might have actually been able to get it there.
Good shot from Bo. Uphill look from there from about 70.
Gavin throwing a bomb right there, letting it flex out.
That path that you can see right there is going to play as OB, but you're not going to be finding yourself over there unless you really turn it over, really get out of control. The baseball field is OB as well, so OB hard to come by out on this hole. Get over the trees. Wow, and he does go all the way over those trees for the most part.
Just barely clipped it late in the flight. And I like what you're doing here. You got the hillside to work with you, plus some downwind. Plus, you're not messing around with the trees up there late in the flight.
Come on.
Dang, that first bounce.
Yeah, that's what my card said too, but ultimately did not turn it enough. The tailwind, it's so hard sometimes because the disc acts so much differently in a headwind than it does a tailwind, so you don't know what angle you actually need to hit the roller on exactly. I missed it big time there.
I wouldn't even say big time, honestly. I think
Probably right.
I think that a different kick on the ground would have put you on the right line.
It was close, but
P Model S just kind of floating out a little bit from you.
yeah, that's what you want to do. I guess I kind of gave it a little bit of a run. I'm
You had
still
the hill.
further than I want to be. Like,
On this day, man, under the basket, only place you wanted to be.
yeah,
Gator.
Gator all day right there from Gavin.
Bo just flicking a putter up there.
Another weird wind, about 20, 25 footer here.
Nice putt from you, just a stab down the hill.
Pretty much just power it in there.
That was like a left to right headwind for you, headed down, wasn't it?
It was left to right, more tail. More tail.
Okay.
So slightly favorable, but not best case scenario.
Oh, it's soft, so it can't come out. Until it does come out.
Don't.
Moving on to hole 5, we have an island hole. This is a crucial hole of the round. Really not that hard of a hole, but we have that left to right headwind here that's really vicious, and you got to have a disc that you can trust. And you have to have a stroke that you can trust.
Yep, for sure. 230 feet is chump change for touring pros, and this is, on this day, tricky. You see that thing drop out of the sky right there. He's playing that perfect. That's the croc again from him.
It's down there.
And he's got that one dialed. He's 3 for 3 getting the birdie with that if he can capitalize. Oh, it just slides out. I heard some locals talking about it. If you land on that concrete, rather than skipping left, it almost always skips you right. I suffered the same fate, unfortunately.
Great kick.
Safe shot from AJ, but he's avoiding the drop zone shot that you got to take if you don't find yourself inbounds off the tee.
Yeah, for sure. Worth noting, it's not easy to get up and down from that spot either on a day like this. It's kind of a half shot.
Swing, baby.
Oh my goodness. There it is. The concrete that doesn't slide. And that's a normally very stable A2. Probably hit this wind that Gavin's throwing into right now. Nice little touchy shot from him. Okay. He's left uphill headwind putt though. I'm telling you, none of these putts are gimmies today. What was this?
P Model S right there. That just a late release is going to cost me big time. Out of bounds again, outside the circle, putting for 5. Horrible scenario for this hole.
It's not a... Oh my goodness, is that tree in play?
Yeah.
This is not the putt you want.
No.
Oh my gosh, man. You're throwing daggers at least.
Probably the best double bogey of my life.
Yeah.
Not loving it, but man,
But you hit the putt.
glad to get out of there with a 5.
Oh, birdies again. Now 3 through 4. Basically as good as you can get. He's essentially perfect so far.
Yeah.
3 through 5, excuse me. Yeah. But that is with 2 holes that are bonus. That's playing essentially perfect golf. Avery par, no worries. Hole 6, 265. On a day like this, you kind of have to swing something in. You got to believe that no disc that you're going to throw is stable enough to handle the wind and play straight down this fairway. So which side of the trees are you going to mess with?
Yeah, you're exactly right. With this wind coming right in our faces and just off the left, just a little bit, you're going to see some people opt for overstable discs under the tree branches and kind of skip them up there. These guys are locals. They know what they're doing out here. Bo, perfect example.
Great play.
Oh my gosh.
That was crazy.
Fantastic.
What a park job from Bo Tillman right there.
I think that was a Firebird from him.
Yes,
it
definitely was a Firebird.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of just did a little bit of a swoop. It wasn't a straight pull through on that one. Not the best.
Yep.
Throw out of AJ.
Nope, not a good stroke from AJ. He threw Firebird as well, and Gavin going Firebird also. Bo being an influencer there by throwing the Firebird. Both guys went Firebird after, and myself going P Model S, the disc that I just threw out of bounds in the last hole, having to trust it again into the headwind. I'm really happy with that shot.
Wow. Oh my goodness. There you see what the wind's doing to up shots. Oh. AJ exclaims wow as well. Gavin, this basket's like a foot, maybe not even a foot higher than a normal basket, is it?
Oh, it's definitely elevated.
It's
to some
weirdly
degree.
elevated. Yeah, we play so many elevated baskets, but they're all kind of the same height. This is a tweener basket, basically. I like it, though. Like, that's cash. That's dead center on a normal basket.
For sure, for sure. AJ letting the left to right wind take his disc down, not just under the right amount of commitment from him, and I'm facing the wind right here.
So you switch your stance.
Right, I mean, almost no chance of getting a straddle putt to fly correctly in that wind, so I have to change, which is just a different putt that I practice for times just like this.
Yeah, great switch from you and good hit. That's the way you want birdie putts to be on a day like this. Go 4 through 6 holes. Killing it. Gav just looking to get started. You know, he's a 997 rated player. He's got a ton of game. He's a local. I think on a day like this, there are a few nerves possibly, but looking for him to settle down. Hole 7, thrown over this creek, which does play OB, this water to your right. It's casual. And then there's just some trees and low ceiling you got to travel through to get to this basket. I love this hole. I think it's a great hole. One of the better ones we've played so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's really fun to blast a shot in there. We have a tailwind finally. Both a little much turn. And gets through that tree. If he were to hit that tree, he'd probably still be safe, but he could have rolled backwards into the creek from there. Good result from him. He'll just have an upshot now to secure a birdie on this easy par 4.
What are you going with?
D2, the more overstable version. One of the more overstable versions that I have. That's an easy upshot from there for a birdie.
Yeah, the further you push it right, the more it opens up, I think. You can kind of pinch yourself off by getting over on that left side. Oh, yeah. That's up there by you. That's a great shot. Getting the full flex out of that one.
Going to be a destroyer there from Gavin. It's pretty much what you want to do. Beat that tree that on the right side that bow kind of went through.
And this is a SDS out of AJ. Just barely tugged it.
And that's the tree. And he gets through it. And so he'll have an upshot for birdie.
Right.
The green kind of slopes really friendly to like catch your disc, so it's easy to kind of run it, especially if you're in within 100 feet. You can definitely give a run and you won't be too far past, even in a wind like this, because we have this wall protecting us on the left side. So finally a little shelter from the wind here as well, kind of.
Yeah, it is like a little bit of shelter for sure, especially when you get closer to the green. Nice up shots from AJ and Bo. Sliding it in.
Whoa, real close shot right there from Gavin. I think that's going to be a gator.
Wow. And this is what distance does for you. Just a simple approach. Wow, trying to throw that in.
Definitely trying to give it a little bit of a run.
Was that a PA4?
That is a PA3.
3.
It's a stable one. I threw it on an Anheuser.
AJ just a little bit low.
Tough to judge the wind, and he's missed a few putts already, so confidence is going to be running low, which is important. Just undercommitted, though, on that little that putt there. He's got the wall over here making us feel like we're sheltered, but there's still wind. It's just all weird.
Blustery day. You heard it.
That's right.
Poo.
That's right.
Nice birdie from you. On to hole 8. Probably a fairly simple hole in normal conditions. These are not normal conditions. Getting something to hold straight for that long and get it to, as the ground meets the ceiling, it's a sandwich you got to hit, and it's a pretty small one with this wind.
Yes, and I wouldn't say relatively simple to the holes that we've played. Other than obviously the tweener holes, this is going to be one of the more difficult birdies to get on the course, actually. Well, from what we've played so far.
I agree. Yeah, you're right about that.
We have a left to right wind here. It's going to be holding Bo's disc right there. That straight gap that he went down is much smaller than the sidearm route out to the left, but the sidearm route is kind of long, probably 360 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
Benefit of throwing a stable disc right there.
Right, throwing my most overstable X1 just because I didn't want any kind of flukiness with the wind. Thought I threw it into the ground, but it caught the flare I needed and gets me a putt. Anheuser route. This is... Oh, he caught some of the ceiling there, which there are branches guarding that height.
Guessing he was throwing something really overstable on that route.
Yeah.
A lot of angle on it. It's a Firebird. I think that's one of those proto stamp Firebirds that are like just for him. I believe, proto stamps weren't around when the Firebird first came out. So to have a proto stamp Firebird is, as most people know, rare.
No,
rare and ridiculous.
Yeah, they didn't ever make proto stamp Firebirds.
Yeah.
If that's what you're saying. He did stamp it though, and there's like 2 in existence from what he says. And the wind, same putt, but I mean different winds, different speeds of winds each time, but same direction. And unfortunate there from Avery.
This is a ripping tailwind for him. Just trying to get it high enough. And this would be like a left to right headwind. He just barely threw that thing.
Just off from Bo there. Inside the circle putt's really hard today. Gavin showing another one there, and he's going to take a 5 on the hole. If I go straddle putt here, there's no telling what my putter's going to do.
Nice get.
And getting... In my mind, I was back to even, but 1 under par, that feels good after the start that I had. Any birdie is feeling so good right now. You're gaining so many strokes when you get birdies, unlike normal when on a course like this when you have to get the birdies. Not today.
Yeah, we come to, just a hole that is completely different than the rest of the holes on this course. But equally trying, it's a great test of golfing in its own. And on a day like this, anything can happen.
Yeah, this is a good high-level shot right here. 410 feet. We're going to have a ripping 20-mile-per-hour gust coming over our right shoulder. Flick seems really good today. I would imagine that a flick would be a really favorable route if you have that shot.
Yeah, playing less than 410 with some downhill and downwind. You got plenty of D. And I think it may have just been too strong of a downwind.
There's no telling. I popped it a little bit hard trying to commit because of the tailwind.
Right. Right.
But it just got out of control with that weird torque that I put on it. And then Bo swinging in a hyzer. This is
way
wild.
He just flicks his wrist 410.
Making the hole look incredibly easy. I was so impressed after that shot.
Avery likes your route. Oh, smash.
And that's going to get pushed down by the wind and forward. So outside the circle look, headwind,
deep of the bucket. Wow, 440 feet.
Gavin's got a good destroyer here.
That looks good.
Following Bo's line.
Okay, they know something.
Exactly.
Wow, it just funnels you around, too. It's perfect.
So jealous at this point of how easy they made that look.
And now you got to get up and down on this day.
Now I've got to get up and down.
Okay, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, and still, here we go. Headwind
Slides
putt.
out. Oh my gosh. Dust blowing up from the ground. It looks like it's warm, but everybody's got beanies on. What a bid. The dude has just been 2 inches off high or low either way on 5 putts already. It could have gone both ways. Here you are. I like it. It's like your alternate stance. It's like a skateboarder doing something switch. You have it both ways.
For somebody that putts like me, I think it's almost crucial to have it. You have to have it.
You can be dominant straddle, but when it comes down to it, and there's 25-mile-an-hour winds,
You have to get the disc in the basket still.
yeah.
And straddle sometimes is not going to cut it unless you have a different way to put spin on it. But myself, I'm not putting that much spin on it when I'm straddle putting.
All right. There we have it. The front nine of the 2020 Oklahoma Open, Bo Tillman is on fire. Kevin Jones starting to get some birdies late. Gavin just really hanging around. Avery just barely missing some putts. It's been a pleasure having you guys join us for this. We've got the back nine coverage coming at you, finishing up at McClure Park. Quick shot of the ridiculous trees in the background. Thanks again to GK and Innova. We'll see you on the back nine.